You are listening to the African Catholic Youth Voices, a podcast service of the Pan-African Catholic and Catholic Theology and Pastoral Network. And here with me are young people from Angola's BBI cohort. So you are still with me, my dear friends. So we move on now to look at another area. Now, the story I had is that about Angola is that you are very rich in oil. In fact, you are the second largest producing oil country in Africa. And you are also endowed with some other natural resources. With all this, we used to say that the nation is able to cater for the citizens without looking elsewhere, without getting external aid from the Western countries.
So, being the second most rich country about oil in the continent is something that is a very huge thing. It's not just like becoming the second one. This they have the condition to put our country in better ways that he actually is. So that show us something that the government is not doing the thing. Is not doing the thing well. Is not know to put this instrument, this kind of richness, this kind of product that is the oil, is not making the things well with the oil. They are not promoting the good things with the oil. They're not enjoying the benefits that our country is giving us, that God given to us. So that is a big problem for our government. Like the sister earlier and the brother Antonio they said, the government is one of the most problem things that we had. The society, we have our problems in society, but the government, it does not make these things easily. It's just making worse the things. So I think the oil that our country has provided to us is one of the big things that could promote us. So using the oil for the good things, we could promote the health, we could promote the education, we could promote the tourism, we could promote other things or other areas, and this could make our country in a better condition. This cannot make us like be starving. They cannot make us dying for diseases, dying for disnutrition, dying for other things that are just common problems, and they're just making worse. But they could really make out, they could really solution by put it the hands in a good way.
Maricon, thank you very much. Let's talk about those young people that also went to the military and along the line were demobilized. Some were physically disabled. And because of that, when they came back, they couldn't even get jobs and they couldn't afford to get on with life in a normal way. They also had their low level of education also added to all this. So what is the church and the government doing about these people? How the church or the society, the government, how are they helping these people? Because they went into the military to help the people. But now, because of what they are experiencing, because they are now physically challenged and they are like being cut off from the society. So how about their welfare? What's the church doing about it? The society and the government. Okay. Yes. Okay.
About the church, I won't say a lot about the government because I don't see it much. Okay. Like they are doing nothing to change. I go to church like 2 times or 3 times a week, and all Sundays I'm there in church, and I see that the church is having some movements there. Church purpose is to which development Christians attribute in men's life. bringing together. Now that I was talking to Father Jerome last time, and I spoke to him because they are planning to open another church to a village. It's like not a village, but where people are not most privileged area. So they are planning to open a church. And brother said, when they went there to see the land that they are preparing to open a church, then there was a person, people there that asked the father, they said to the father, you're coming to open a church here. How can we listen to a God's word while we are hungry? This is what they said to the father, to the priest. Church is doing its work, Church is doing their work, but it's not a lot. It's not too much. We do what we can. Priests, they take food to them, they do, but there's also a problem that our government has, is that you cannot do such a things without the approval, and they do not approve people to do this. If they find you helping a person that needs, if they find you giving food outside your house or to those people that are asking for food, it's a problem.
Thank you very much, Valeria. All right. Okay, Antonio.
Yeah. Well, I was saying that our former president, who is now dead, did not teach people how to work. I mean that our economy was strongly dependent to the oil. That's why on 2014, when the price of the oil went down, so Angola suffered one of the biggest struggle, because people, they don't know how to work, they don't know how to do something. So we started to lend money from China and doing some other things. So we have another different countries and policies that we can take example. Let me bring the situation of this Tanzania. So Tanzania, Magufuli is the one who taught people how to work. So people could depend greatly to what they have. In our introduction, Sister Valeria told us that Angola is a country that has fertile land. But people, they don't know how to work. We depend strongly to the oil. Now, the oil at that time, it was under $50. How can we now live with this price? So now people, they don't know how to work. Men and a great number, if you go to Rwanda, people, they do other jobs, but this thing of digging, works of animals, other things, people, they don't know, they don't do. And they think that this work is something that not myself who can do this thing. My work is to be in the office to do and to account. This is the consequence that we are seeing now, that people, they are leaving their, we say, their homelands, and they go to Rwanda, as Sister Valeria was saying, was introducing. Rwanda is concentrated the majority of Angolans, and people, they prefer to do, in Kenya we call them boda, and in Angola we should call them motoqueiros. So they do this moto taxi. People, they do another, like selling on the streets. We call them zungeiros. People, they do other works, but this thing of digging is outdated. People, they don't want to dig. So, and this one is one of the greatest problem that we are suffering. People are saying suffering, we are struggling, life now is very difficult. So life was difficult from the time of Jesus up to now. But how do we see life? How can somebody doesn't know how to work? Even myself, I don't like digging. I'm telling you. So I don't know if I can give this guilt to the former president who did not teach people how to dig, depend greatly to the oil, and the economy was going on. And people, they're suffering truly. Where can we find food? Imagine somebody has left his village and now he's in Rwanda. So Rwanda, there's no land,
Antonio,
and the lands they left there. Now they're in Rwanda crying, where is food? Where is food? So this is the point.
Now, I'm seeing on this people that are physically challenged. What about their welfare? Who cater for them? Since they cannot get jobs, they would have loved to do something for themselves and earn a living. But now that maybe during the war or any of the attacks, they were dismembered. So who is responsible for their welfare, their health care, education of their children, and other things? Is the church doing anything about it? Is the society doing anything about it? Is the government doing anything?
For us, we have education, free education, from the primary school up to the superior level. These, we call them school of government. We call them escolas do Estado, free education. But the quality of this education, so you run away from that school. You run away from that school. That's the quality. But the school is free. Then somebody can finish, can have maybe masters on those universities. But in terms of competence, this person is not prepared at all. This is the problem. Now, the church gives a lot. For us, as church, we have those schools that we call, example, in secondary school, we have how do we call that school? ICRA. We have ICRA and we have INE Marista. So the Marist brothers, they have the INE, and these schools is a formation called for education. All those guys who go to INE Marista, they are preparing themselves for education. Now for ICRA, it's called for science of religious life. So like moral, social assistance, and so and so. Usually in the Catholic Church, we have our systems. Schools, they are not free as we think. We pay, but we pay in a representative way. Maybe, example, there is this sisters or FMM, Franciscan Mission of Mary. So those students that they don't have possibility of paying, what they do, they give them some work. Maybe just clean the rooms, then you go. So that one is your fee schools. In order that we don't look for somebody to clean for us, but we have already people. That's the policy that they found. I don't know if
thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Anyway, you have already started the next question that I'm going to ask about education. Yeah, and just like you have said, that I learned that education in Angola is free. But now, yeah, I mean, I'm understanding that it gets level, like you can see, it gets level. So, all right. So I understand that education is free, and say congratulations for that. Maybe one of the very few enjoying free education from all level, from cradle to any level you want to take education to. Congratulations. However, how are the young people in Angola, the young Angolans, responding to this opportunity? Are they able to fulfill their dreams with this free education they have? They're able to fulfill their dreams in life?
There's a problem of the education in Angola. I live in Angola. I'm not studying Angola. It's true. Because for me, now for my parents, it's better start outside from Angola. It's not too good to study in Angola because Father Antonio said education in Angola is free. I really don't know if it's free. Because I saw people here in Angola doesn't read. If education is free, all those people don't attend to school. If education is free, but the people outside, they cannot speak, they cannot read. Even the young people, older people, so they cannot read in Angola. But education is free, it's not true. If education is free, our fathers never put us to start another country because it's very expensive here to start. If you want the best for your son, you have to choose those schools from private school, like Catholic school is nice for other. But this time, I don't think our country is accept our country will give better education because the education stay together. If you don't open opportunity for the young people, opportunity to show how can help other people to learn. In Angola is like that. Because of the other people is in front, we cannot give opportunity to the others behind. But I think we can change this time. We are prepared ourselves for best and also for young people to develop more in our country. I hope so.
I hope so too. So
Can I add?
what you are telling me now is that it's difficult for even young people to realize their dreams.
Can I add?
All right.
Sister.
Okay. Yeah.
I think what Brother Antonio said is true, and what Sister Marcia said is also true. There are certain points where we need to understand each other here. Education in Angola is free, yes, but education in Angola is free. It's because it's free, it's difficult to be there. Places are full because it's a free place. Everyone wants to go there. And this turns into difficult for people to get education in Angola, because all free places are now full of people that want education in Angola. That's why our parents, some of the parents decide to send their kids or their child to go school in another country, because the facility to get into school is very difficult.
To realize your dreams, you have to go to another place, like going to another country.
No. Okay. Not really, sister. Sorry to cut you. Not really, sister. Only for those who didn't get the opportunity to study here.
Okay. So it's possible.
If you did not get the opportunity to study here, then you have to go
to study in Angola and also get employed after your schooling in Angola.
Yes. What happened in Angola is that most of the people that study outside Angola, and they know how to speak English, so it's like they think they are in advantage of the others that they cannot speak English. This sometimes makes it difficult to find a job that they want to pay them certain amount of money. This is what makes it difficult.
All right, so we move on. I was saying that there is this relationship between Angola and the Holy See, the Vatican City. Can you explain more on this relationship?
Okay, Sister Antonio, again.
Okay.
This Acordo Quadro is one of the agreements between the Holy See and the Angolan state in materials of education, some also juridical issues. The Angolan states so entrusted some of the services, some of the function of a state to the Holy See. They see that the Holy See can help within this context that our sisters and brothers, they were narrating the situation of Angola, that corruption and something. They see that there is opportunity to entrust our education, to entrust our some civil situation, and also the Catholic personality. In this Acordo Quadro, we have some elements that are very important. First of all is education. Let me bring to you one of the most confused situation. For us, we did philosophy in Angola. This philosophy is not, it has no value, it's not valuable. So to the states, if you want to graduate maybe to the state, you need to study another 4 years or 3 years again, so that the state can recognize your certificate. I told you before about one of the institutions called ICRA. The state was a communist, doesn't recognize these studies, but in the church it has its value. But the state doesn't recognize. Then marriage issue of marriage. So marriage was just limited. If you marry the church, it's very independent to marry to the register, that is a civil marriage. But with this accord quadro, we brought these situations very close to us in such a way that if you marry two, or in the Catholic Church, automatically, as in Kenya, your marriage, it has civil value. In the Catholic Church, if you finish philosophy, or if you finish some of the studies of Catholic Church, in the stage, it has also value. So one of the questions that is put people to answer is, looking into the personality of the Pope. Pope is we say that is the president, is the head of the Vatican as a state. And Angolan is the state which is we don't have any religions that is of the state. How this state is collaborate with a Christian state that is Vatican? How? That is the problem. But the answer is very clear that the personality of this Roman is not much religious, but is more organizational.
Antonio, this
Yes.
Quadro, how will young people in Angola benefit from it?
Yeah, young people will benefit from this Accordo Quadro. First of all, education. My sisters, they mentioned a lot about the failure of education. Now, education being regulated by the Holy See, it will bring some kind of Christian value. Sister, let me just go back very quickly. Before, what happened with the communist system in our institutions, in our schools, was remove the class of moral and religion. You can't talk about the religions, you can't talk about moral. And as a consequence, we have a society which is what it is now. Now, with this Accord Quadro, maybe the Roman state, it will ask some values like education, moral, and some values that we know that some, let me say about the Christian values. Maybe it will be one of the point that the Angolan state must follow as a state. I think the Catholic Church or the youth has much thing to benefit about it, especially to moral values. It's the thing that I said because I know which kind of moral life we have.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Antonio, can you show your picture? Can you show your face? I know you are trying to. Okay, so this Accord to Quadro is regulated by the Holy See. Okay, is it within the church or for the entire state? Is it just for within the church, the Catholic Church in Angola and Holy See, or the entire nation and the Holy See?
Yeah, sister, it's about the nation. State. It was regulated by the president. I don't know which article of our that decree, but it's 2018 October 1. I don't know which degree is that one, but I remember that is October and first October and 2018. About this, I know it's the state and Angolan, or is the Vatican and Angolan states. Everybody who is there, and if you are I don't know which religion you are studying for, Catholic Church, you must follow. That is a must, not an exception.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much, and I think I love that the Holy See is not just in particular about Catholic Church, but is extending this to all Angolans. That's fine. Okay, thank you very much. Valerie, you want to add something before we move to our last question? Okay.
What I want to add is about the schools, not all like the Catholic schools that we have here in Angola. When I came to Angola, this was 2015, 2015. And I went to a school, it's a Catholic school, but for cooking. And there were certain people that they were from other religions, but they went there to school for cooking course. Now it's a course for cooking that we were doing there that time. And there was a time for prayer. Now before we start, we always had to pray, do our prayer, and then start. What happened that time is people from other religion, they did not follow our rules. And it's still happening until now. I don't know if I am wrong, but I believe sometimes I think that it would be better if people from other religion wouldn't school in Catholic religion, because it's very difficult to deal with people that they don't understand your religions. They don't follow the rules of the school, the rules of a Catholic school. And it's happening now because my brother is in a Catholic school and we face a lot of same problems. There are mothers that take their kid to the Catholic school because they know that Catholic school is it's nice education. They have nice education, but they don't follow the rules because they don't believe in our religions. They don't respect Catholic religions.
Thank you very much, young Golan. You have been very, very articulate. I thank you very much for coming. So, but lastly, I would like to ask you that in your cohort, BBI cohort in Angola, I know you are just forming this. Do you have anything in mind that you want to do, any project that you want to take, you want to embark upon the next 1 year? And this project must be measurable, that you set goal for yourself, you set objectives, and this is what you want to achieve between this so date and so time, and you are able to achieve that. Are you thinking of anything like that?
For me, as a young religious brother, we have so many things that we need to improve in our relation with our Christians. The first one is that to create that link between the leaders church and the youth. Secondly, we need also to create some websites that people will find some literacy. So it's very painful for me sometimes. I'm in Nairobi, I want to listen music from my place. I try to look from YouTube, I don't find this music of quality. What I find just those useless things that cannot help you for Christian life. And also, even if you want to download something, score for the music, you don't find. This group, for me, my sister and my brothers, this is the challenge that I bring to you, that we need to create what I mean that the literacy, and we find a blog where we can express our faith. All the things that people could look, search about or regarding to their faith, they can find this blog. Either songs, religious pictures, those celebrations, those things very important, simple, but they're very important. So last year in December, we launched our satellite, Angolan satellite. I don't know if it's working, but we launched. And this opportunity of using these satellites, and I know very well, my sisters, without any inferiority or prejudice, that maybe the price of this communication, it will go down. I know the situation that we are living is very difficult, but I was comparing the fuel has gone up, the price, but I was comparing with another countries. So for us, we are okay because the liter of fuel, it's under $1. So I was comparing, it's below. But since we are not used to this life, that's why we are complaining.
So I will be happy if you can just organize yourself now. I want you to organize yourself, put more young people from the university, yourself. And from yourself, like Valeria said the other time, that Sometimes you organize to go and visit the less privileged and share something. Even your visit alone will bring joy to them. Okay, and you continue to do this regularly. I think that will also help them, and you will spread to another university. Spread to another university, and before you know it, the whole of Angola is experiencing this. Many people are experiencing joy, happiness, and they have something to live on, no matter how small. So I want you to consider all this, particularly in social media, to also connect yourself. So thank you very much, my dear brothers and sisters, for coming for this show. It's been very engaging, very interesting, inspiring. I've listened to you and I've learned a lot from you, learning from what is happening in Angola. Okay. So okay, everybody can put on as we put on the video as we try to run this off now. Okay. So thank you, my brothers and sisters. Leonardo, Don Zanstus, Marcia Capri, Antonio, Elia, and Mariko. Thank you very much for coming. So, dear brothers and sisters, we have been listening to the voices of young people from Angola. They have been discussing with us about their challenges and the social and economic challenges. And now young people in the church will resolve all these challenges. We look forward to the great things they will do for God and for the church and the society at large. Thank you for being part of this episode, my brothers and sisters. Until next week, when we bring you a fresh perspective from African Catholic voices, especially the voices of young African Catholics who are creating new pathways, which are new signs of hope that will bring them to where God wants them to be. Of course, it is a collective effort to build a continent where young people can dream tall and achieve their goals in life.